to the couch section. This we'll start with at the beginning. James lives in Portland, Oregon and has a microfiber couch he wants to sell. James plans on using the money to buy a new computer that costs $1,150. He currently has $500 saved to purchase a new computer. James needs to determine whether he will get enough money from the sale of his couch to purchase the new computer. Identify variables and assumptions. I'm going to let your group go ahead and identify those variables and assumptions and the input variable and the output variable. And move to step number 3. First, examine the quality of James's couch using a scale of 1 to 10 being 10 being best. Complete a web search of prices using couches in Portland, Oregon. Use a website like Craigslist to complete the search. Without thinking about the price, record your take on the quality of the couch using a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being the best, just as before. After judging the quality of the sofa, record the price of the sofa. Once you've gathered data on 15 couches and have filled out the table to the right, over here, create a scatter plot of the data. Now I have some data points. Please do not use my data points. They are not going to be with what you should be researching on your own website. Then add a trend line to your scatter plot. So I've done some research, I have found some sofas, I have their sale price. I'm going to highlight this and insert a chart here, a scatter chart, and then move it over to this point. And then I'm going to give myself some labels because I prefer that in all charts. I'm not going to put the input and the output here because that's something I want your group to decide. Then you're going to use your data points to insert a trend line. Again, click on a point, right click, add a trend line, and we'll do the same thing as we did in the previous 2 tabs. We want to display our equation and r squared because that'll help us decide what is the best option for our trend line. So I have, with just a line, 0.62. That's a pretty good trend or r squared value for our trend line. I'm going to click back on my trend line here so that I can go through my options. I'm going to pick the exponential and see, oh, that is a very good trend line, 0.9. And then let's do polynomial order 2, 0.8. You know, I think linear was 0.6. That's really good. But exponential is 0.93. And we talked about we still want to make sure that we're going to be using the easiest or the least complicated equation with the greatest percentage. So I'm going to look between these. Again, polynomial was really close, and so I would say we could probably do, maybe one or the other. For the sake of doing something different, I'm going to go ahead and do the exponential because in the first one we had linear, so you got to see that if your sales prices work out to be linear, you can go back to the first one and kind of look through the beginning tab. If yours ends up being polynomial, you can look through the last one or the previous part of the sales, car sales. And so I'm going to go ahead and do exponential for those of you who might do exponential for yours so that you get all 3 on this tutorial for all the students in whatever options you need. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to highlight my equation, my trend line, copy, and now we know our trick is to paste it into a cell and then copy and paste it into our answer. There we go. And because you can see here that this is not how it is here. I'm going to zoom in. The format is different. You can see that this is E and all of this is in the exponent. So we need to change this. To do so, we're going to type in EXP, open the parenthesis, and close the parenthesis. What this does, EXP, is how we input E into Excel. Inside the parentheses is what's up here in the exponent. And so that looks good. One more thing I'm going to add is the multiplication between the 17,392 or 0.392 times E, because Excel doesn't know what to do between the number and the natural number, or E, the natural number. Okay, so I think everything, oh, and we need one more multiplication here because both of those are in the exponent. Okay, so that looks good. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so that we can see. Okay, a little bit more of the page. And move on to the next one. Now use your trendline to predict the sales price of James's sofa based on its quality. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our trendline here and copy and paste it in here like we did before. And we have to judge his couch. Now I'm going to judge it wrong so that it won't be anything like what you do. You need to use your own input. So I'm going to pick, I'm going to pick 3, just because I decided to pick 3. So there we go. And so to do such, we want this to calculate for us. We're going to take care of the y, get rid of it, verify I have my multiplication here, exp, all of this is in parentheses, and I'm going to replace the x with what I judge the couch to be. Now I don't really think it's a 3, I'm just picking that because I'm hoping that it's different than what you pick. We put that as the input for the x, and then we can press enter and it will calculate for us the sales price, to the predicted sales price going off of the numbers from over here. Now we can make an informed decision and answer the questions: what sale price should James list in his advertisement? And we just calculated that. So I would put for mine, I could change it and just say $50 since this is sales price, and it doesn't have to be exactly $49.76 because this will be his listed price. What price did you calculate from your equation? Now that's the price we need to answer for question number 2. $49.76 would be my next one. So here we're going to say $50 will be what he decides to list it, and then we're going to get down to the next one, we're going to do Alt Enter so that it goes down. If you have a Mac, you can press Option Enter and stay within the text box and just move down a line. And so for the second answer, we will type in $49 and round that to the nearest cent, 76 cents, since we're dealing with money here. And then I rounded the 5 up. Okay, and I should probably put a $sign on the first one, and then the next one, again, Alt Enter to move down. And what price would you suggest? I'm going to suggest that he price it up a little because there's always somebody who wants to haggle. So I'm going to suggest he does $65. And does it appear he will get enough money from the sale of the couch to pay for the laptop? So again, Alt Enter, so we go down. His laptop, we have this information up here. He has $500 saved to purchase his new computer, and it costs $1,150. So to calculate what he needs, I'm going to do equals, you can't see that, equals $1,150 minus his $500 he's already saved. He needs $650, and down here he might get 50. So my answer for my information here is that he will not get enough money to pay for the laptop. So I'm going to put no, he needs $650 and he could only get 50, and so forth. And answer number 5, again, so you and your group can go through that one as well. All right, this was a long tutorial. Thank you for sticking with me, and I hope this helps.